property, Algebra 1. All right, so we're going to be talking about distributive property, one of the first properties that we'll be really getting into, real heavy. Let A, B, and C be real numbers, and that's all that we'll be using in Algebra 1 is just real numbers. So with the distributive property, we have things like A times the sum of B plus C equals AB plus AC. We actually are distributing this A through the parentheses, all right? So A times B gives you the AB, A times C, which gives you the AC, all right? So because there's no plus or minus in between the parenthesis and the A, that means multiplication. All right, so then you can also have A to the difference of B minus C, which will still be A times B, and then A times a negative C, which makes a negative AC. All right? So you're going to watch the signs in front of the variables or letters when you're doing this property. Now, you can also do the distributive in a backwards approach. The A could be in the back end, okay? So A times C and then A times B gives you BA, CA. Same with A back here in this one, and it will give you BA minus CA. Watch the signs in front. Think of this as the teacher property, where the teacher is the thing that's being distributed, and she's giving out the test to all the students that are inside the parentheses. Doesn't matter whether the teacher's in the front, as this one, or the teacher's in the back, as this one. Still, all students have to have a copy of that test or whatever she's distributing. So it has to go all the way through. Now when we do this, you have to watch. If it was, for instance, a negative 2 times x plus 3. When we distribute, it's negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times 3, which is negative 6. You don't bring down a plus and then put a negative, okay? We're going to do this right from the beginning. Negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6, and that's what your calculator will tell you. And you write minus 6, not plus a negative. So please let's start doing this correctly. If I had a negative 2 times x minus 3, instead of plus, it's negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times a negative 3 is a positive 6. So see, if you just write down whatever sign's in there, you're going to have it messed up. Please, let's start getting into the habit of following the signs that are in front of the number. This is so important and will save you a lot of trouble when we get further into the year when you're having to do a lot more complicated problems. So watch the sign in front of the number and multiply accordingly. And if you have questions with this, we will have lots of practice on distributive property, and we will see you in class.